Hi everyone, welcome to Pausing Consciously. I'm your Greek companion here with you as you continue the journey um, onward. So, my kitty and I are here. So, I'm trying to think of a topic, and I want to say something that happened to me recently. Um, I felt like I was being judged for openly being able to express the depths of difficult emotions, let's say. I felt like I was being judged for being negative and just living this life of like not doing anything productive. That made me really angry because I think that it's okay to be not okay at times and to express it out loud if you want. If you, I think that it's a part of what makes this journey allows you to be grounded and anchored in an ability to move forward. Because if you're not able to bring awareness to pain and suffering, then you can't do anything about it, even if it's letting it be. And me and my bestie used to be judged for being negative. When looking back, we were just able to speak openly about our emotions. And there's nothing wrong with that because we were willing to talk about the depth of the despair and the frustration and the hardships that come with human life, that came with our lives living with a chronic illness. It didn't stop us from continuing to do what we have to do, continuing to move through. I don't think that, you know, just putting it aside or like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna now let's look at the sunny roses. If you don't really address the pain, you can't really fully live in the joy. You know what I mean? And I feel like when I started to want something different for the numbing that I was feeling for many years after my big losses, I wanted something different. I couldn't articulate it to you what that something different was, but I wanted something different. What I learned was the ability to express and be validated for my pain was very important to me. I guess that's what drives me as a core value for making these intentional spaces for us to pause and be consciously present along with the hardships that come with human life, that come with grief, that comes with sorrow. Today I went to a mentor session through the self-compassion community. One of the mentors, Amy Noel, she's amazing, and she did a self-compassion version of a mountain meditation. Now, I wasn't as familiar with the mountain meditation, but apparently, I think it's John Kabat-Zinn, I think she said, does a mountain meditation. I'm sure you guys can look that up if that's something you're interested in. But what she was, I felt like, in my interpretation, how I took it, she was trying to get us to view self-compassion I guess to view self-compassion as being like a mountain. It's embodied presence. It's grounded and rooted into the earth. It comes with all shapes, jagged edges, smooth paths. Um, it might have snow, all different kinds of weather it might be treated to, all different kinds of life it might have on it. So what I took out of it as I was reflecting afterwards, I was asking myself, can we create a container that can house everything, embracing everything and pushing away nothing? That's a phrase I got from Frank Azanovsky, amazing hospice and Buddhist teacher. It's all going to be as it is, but if we can hold it without judgment, rather kindness and compassion, we can be as we are without judgment, allowing the space for all of who we are. And whether not everything is impermanent, everything changes. Weather is sunny one location on this earth, potentially even on this mountain if it's big enough. And it's dark and dreary and storming on another part of the mountain. And if we think of this as a metaphor for human life, a metaphor for grieving, a metaphor for being with our emotions, can we house a container, a steady, sturdy, strong? And can this strength be compassion? I thought of this sentence. Sometimes strength comes in the form of compassion. Sometimes strength comes in the form of compassion. Comes in the form of compassion. So this steadiness, this ability to be weathered and torn, battered by the ferocity of the way rain can come down, at the way hail can come down, at the way tornadoes can come down, at the way lightning can come down, as well as its ability to give you the glorious blue sky that we are able to see because of how the sun is reflecting on the atmosphere. And sometimes those colors change too. We're able to see other parts of the prism. We're able to see these many different colors merge at each sunset, at each sunrise. We're able to see the sun and its glory and its power, its heat, its intense heat, causing heat waves. Can we house everything in a container rooted in strength, kindness, and compassion, without judgment, allowing the space for everything? Is that possible? And can we root that container that I'm talking about is ourself, is our self-compassion. Is it possible? How do you go about cultivating the inner resources that will allow for that? Is it in the small ways that you can give yourself self-compassion? Self-compassion is not just kind words to ourselves, right? It's giving ourselves our favorite food when we're hungry. It's getting our favorite blanket when we're cold. It's sleeping snuggled next to our furry friend. It's whatever brings you comfort and joy and a little bit of care. What does care mean to you? If you were to write out a definition of care, there's a gentleness to the word, right? But there's also a strength, a protectiveness, a force field, a barrier, but also a warm embrace of feathered wings. So I'm leaving you with these thoughts of, you know, it made me so angry because I felt like I'm okay. It's okay that I'm talking about my sadness and my pain. You know, it's perfectly natural. All human emotions are welcome. It makes us all of who we are. So if we're hiding in one or the other, we're denying our essence, our authenticity, our ability to be free. And I think it's so important for us not to judge each other, for allowing spaces for all of who we are and being protective around those spaces. Even if it's a protective force field, imaginary or not, around yourself, for not allowing another person to take away your peace, to take away what you know is true in your heart, right? So that's some of what I've been thinking today. I'm really trying to find ways to support myself. What does that look like? When do I need to lean in to protect and provide for myself? When is it not a waste of energy? Because I'm lacking that a lot lately. Energy. And when is it okay to just let things go and let things be? How do you know what's the wisdom? How can you cultivate a wisdom to know the difference? That's why I learned in therapy today as well. I love therapy. I love my therapist. Shout out to my therapist if I ever post this and show you. I love you. You're awesome. What a kind human being. You know, I've been in therapy for a few years now, like consistently. And the journey to my therapist, finding a place to be validated in my pain, uh, that shifts something in me so much. So I want no one to take away your peace, no one to take away how you care for yourself. You know what serves you and what's not. And sometimes we don't know, right? It's about trial and error and finding ways that works for you. I was willing to go therapist to therapist because I wanted the support, but I wanted to find the right person. And I was thankful that I did find one that was amazing. And shout out to them too if they ever see this video. Um, First time in my life I felt validated in my suffering and I felt understood in my pain. And I felt it was okay for me to feel, for me to be as I was. And that permission ignited something in me, a core value to protect that for others, that ability to feel validated in their suffering and to know you're not alone. So I want you to take what works for you and discard the rest whenever you're listening to me. You can investigate, try things out, you know, see what is it that's serving you when you do one thing versus the other. Journal about it. Really take notes and just come up with your own self-discovery and questions. Sometimes I think it's okay to land at the question. Do we have to land at the answer right here, right now? I don't have an answer for you. I don't really know how to create a steady mountain force field of self-compassion growing in your core. What I do know is it's okay to be as you are, and no one should take that away from you. And if you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like shouting, shout. Move your body, go for a walk, immerse yourself in nature. I went to the park yesterday and I saw someone walking barefooted on the ground. They said this was helping them to ground themselves, really feel the earth. Connecting into your body right here, right now, gets us away from those big ruminations that can come up. I ruminate all the time. And today I was trying to go over a problem over and over again. Couldn't find a solution. I was reading something by Rick Hansen that said, stop problem solving, be in the now. Because that can be supportive. We think that ruminating is we're gonna solve it, but we're not. Take a break from it. You can come back if you really want to keep mulling it over, sure. But allow yourself to be rooted in the present moment as well. So that's what I'm offering you today, a chance to root yourself in the present moment and root yourself in a steady force field of compassion for all of who you are. Because a container filled with all of who you are allows you to be your authentic self. And whenever you're not able to be, whenever there is a degradation, something that's gnawing at parts of you, lean in, ask questions. Ask yourself, is this serving you? Is this really for you? Or is it something that you can just let go and let be? Let be, let go, let in. Let in some inner resources for you to find that sense of compassion for all of who you are. Let in support systems that serve you. So that's what those are my thoughts. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry I'm so long-winded. I wish I could learn how to edit it so it sounds interesting. So I'm gonna try if I do. Okay.